The place was a little quiet until Michael Smart's son-in-law took the microphone, and then it picked up a beat. You spoke to my heart. I'm sure that I even saw Chief Jacobson kind of giving a little wiggle there, so you really got us all. And Ms. Victoria, that was just incredible. Thank you so much for your words. So I want to acknowledge a handful of people here, and I know that everyone else has acknowledged a lot of people, but I do think it's important for us to underscore just how strong our team is in New Haven. And there was a number of members of the Board of Education that I saw, and I'm sorry if I missed him. I'm just acknowledging people that I saw, but I saw Dr. Joyner and his wife, Ms. Shirley Joyner. Thank you for your service. Matt Wilcox, I saw as well. Mr. Musser, who is a student member of the Board of Education, works very hard. Ms. Downer, we're very excited that you're joining the Board of Education and are part of our team as well. Attorney General Tong, Lieutenant Governor Bysowitz, your partnership is just remarkable. You are always a phone call away, and we're grateful for your support. Senator Blumenthal, Congresswoman DeLauro, thank you for your very, very kind words. Congresswoman DeLauro said the buck stops with the mayor, but the buck starts with Congresswoman DeLauro and Senator Blumenthal. And just so you know, and she mentioned this, such a great example of how it takes all of us is right over there, that track. You got funding for it. The state, our state team, Senator Looney, I saw Representative Palula and Representative Dillon here as well. The Alders also secured funding for it. That track, and if you go outside, if you haven't seen it yet, go outside and check that thing out, would not have happened without these folks, and gives our students the dignity they deserve. When they go to other towns, it is impressive what they see, and now they can see that in our very own track in New Haven. So thank you. I wanted to mention Mayor DeStefano. I know that a number of people, and his wife Kathy is here as well, a number of people have acknowledged Mayor DeStefano. I don't think I ever realized how hard this job would be, and you didn't warn me, but I don't think I would have listened to you if you had. But in particular, I'm really grateful, Mayor DeStefano, that we struggled with a lot of challenges, right, over these last 4 years. And Mayor DeStefano is always a phone call away. I have relied on him many, many times when I'm struggling with an issue, trying to kind of brainstorm about what would you do in this scenario. And so, Mayor, I'm very grateful for your 20 years of service, but your continued service to the city of New Haven behind the scenes. Thank you, Mayor DeStefano. And I presume Dr. Negron is thinking the same thing about Dr. Mayo, who is here, also very lengthy service and just an incredible commitment to our young people in the city. So thank you, Dr. Mayo. I wanted to acknowledge President Salve is here from Yale University. We've got to know each other quite well over these past years, and you've very much strengthened the relationship between the city of New Haven and Yale University, and your being here today is I think, symptomatic of that as well. And the one other group I wanted to ask you to give a huge, huge round of applause for is the Inauguration Committee, who has spent a lot of time and effort putting this thing together. Thank you. A special thanks to Wilbur Cross High School, Principal Matt Brown, and the Cross team for hosting today, as well as the artists, performers, individuals, and groups who have shared their time and talent. To Miriam and Xavier, who have been incredible MCs to us all. And on a personal note, I really want to thank my family, my incredible and beautiful wife, Natalie, my children, Molly and April, my mom and dad, Joan Elicker and Gordon Elicker, who continue to make sacrifices to support me as mayor, as a son, as a husband, as a father, and as we collectively serve the city together. Thank you. Today we come together to celebrate New Year. And consistent with our traditions, we also come together to swear in and begin a new government with city clerk, Board of Education members, Board of Alders, and, of course, mayor. Congratulations to you all in your elections. And I look forward to continuing to work with you as we accomplish many, many things together. We have some old faces. We have some old faces up here. You know who you are. And we have some new faces too, which is really exciting. We all hail from different neighborhoods, different ethnicities, different races, different backgrounds, different cultures, different walks of life, reflecting the rich diversity and beauty that is our Elm City. Despite our differences, we have come together in unity and common purpose, and we have sworn an oath to faithfully and impartially perform the duties of our office to the best of our ability and at all times according to law, and to use the power entrusted to us for the best interests of our city. Like all of you, other than the vows that we have towards our faith and towards our spouses and our families, there is no oath that I consider more solemn or sacred than the oath that I have taken to serve the residents of New Haven. As a colony that was first settled on the indigenous lands of the Quinnipiac, Pagosset, and Wappinger peoples in 1638, and as a city that was first incorporated in 1784, we have been doing these swearing-in ceremonies for quite a long time. Every new government is charged with confronting their own set of challenges, some unique and reflective of the times, and some similar that span generations. A pandemic, an epidemic, gun violence. Today, like cities across the nation, we are once again confronting our own set of historic challenges. A pandemic that has tragically claimed the lives of 321 New Haven residents and over 1.1 million Americans, and its after effects that have impacted virtually every facet of our lives and shined a brighter light on glaring weaknesses within society. An epidemic of opioid use and addiction that has claimed the lives of 127 New Haveners in 2022 and over 110,000 Americans that same year as well. We still await the sobering final count for 2023. A scourge of illegal guns and gun violence that has claimed the lives of 23 individuals in 2023 in New Haven. And like the COVID-19 pandemic and opioid epidemic, has resulted in lifelong voids in families in our communities. I ask you all to take a moment to reflect on the loss of so many individuals in our community. We also face a crisis of affordability in housing and stubborn inflation that has made it much harder for many families to find a place they can call home or to make ends meet. A state education system that has shortchanged our schools and historically not done right by too many of our young people or our educators for far too long. A society impacted by the legacy and continued existence of systemic racism that has left our entire communities out entire communities from our economy and the ability to build generational wealth for them and their families. A warming climate that is wreaking havoc on our environment and our lives. These challenges are indeed great and many. And of course, there are others too. And while our challenges are great, so is our collective commitment and capacity to confront these challenges head on and to meet the moment before us. While we have a lot of work to do, and I'll be sharing more details next month in my State of the City address on our progress and additional policy proposals that will help us further confront our challenges, the steady progress we've made together over the last few years has been just extraordinary. New Haven is a place where more and more people want to continue to live, relocate to, work, visit, start a business, and raise a family. New Haven has led the way in Connecticut in post-pandemic recovery, and we've done so with a commitment to inclusive growth and building an inclusive economy. And while Connecticut is often referred to as the land of steady habits, New Haven is a city where innovation is embraced. New ideas are explored, and policy prescriptions are tested. Some ideas work, and some ideas don't. But what never wavers is our resolve to keep at it and to keep trying. And what undergirds and guides all our proposals and efforts are our values. as people, and as a city. And that's what I'd really like to focus on today. Our people and our values. The commitment to build a city where every resident has the opportunity to thrive. Those are our greatest strengths. When I think about my fellow residents in our city, here are some of the values and character qualities that come to mind. Inclusion. New Haven is a city that welcomes everyone, regardless of your race, ethnicity, immigration, or document status, religion, gender identity, sexual orientation, or general station in life. You are welcome in our city. When I think about inclusion, I think about our clergy, like Imam Bajwa and Rabbi Woodward, who modeled today that no matter your faith or world events, we can come together in common purpose and unity to advance the greater good. Thank you, Imam, and thank you, Rabbi. I also think about the New Haven Pride Center and A Place to Nourish Your Health, who are working every day to ensure we are a city of belonging for our LGBTQ plus residents and others who face stigma and challenges. When other places pass anti-LGBTQ bills or target trans youth, we are proud to say that queer and trans residents make our city stronger, richer, and more beautiful. Compassion. Thanks. When I think about compassion, I think about IRIS, the Integrated Refugee and Immigrant Services, who regularly welcome and help resettle refugees, asylum seekers, undocumented immigrants, and migrants. Or Junta, for the past 50 years, has been providing no-cost social services, legal services, immigration services, adult education, and youth programs to low-income residents. I also think about the many nonprofit organizations that are serving individuals struggling with homelessness, like Upon This Rock Ministries, and Pastor Valerie Washington, who will give today's benediction. When other places do very little to support the unhoused, we say we will extend compassion, care, and emergency housing to those who need it, and also connect individuals to substance use treatment, mental health treatment, and other support so that they can begin to rebuild their lives. Justice. When I think about justice, I think about New Haven Rising, who are fighting for economic, racial, and social justice through grassroots activism and advocacy and collective action. I also think about our city's tenants unions, who are bringing tenants together to organize against unfair rent increases and to ensure safe, healthy, and high-quality housing for their neighbors and fellow residents. When other places are advancing union-busting practices, we're working to expand union membership, including earlier this month when Local 33 Unite Here, the graduate and professional student union at Yale University, voted to ratify its first ever contract. Or the previous month, when the City of New Haven recognized our 4th tenants union in the Elm City. When I think of courage, I think about our first responders, our police officers, our firefighters, emergency service personnel, who run into harm's way and serve and protect our residents to keep our streets and neighborhoods safe. When other places say you can't do policing differently, we embrace a model of community policing and the task of reimagining the work of public safety with programs like Elm City Compass and the Press Gun Violence Prevention Interruption Initiative. Persistence. When I think about persistence, I think about Dr. Ann Garrett Robinson, who joined by other volunteers engaged in a 25-year-long effort to recognize and honor New Haven's first black resident, Lucretia, who was enslaved by the first governor of the New Haven colony. Now, at the intersection of Orange and Elm Streets, where the former governor's mansion once stood, we have Lucretia's Corner, so that we can reflect on her life and her contributions and acknowledge New Haven's past and its history with slavery. I also think about our educators when I think about justice, who are in their classrooms every day teaching, investing, and pouring into our children and the next generation of leaders in our city. When other places say it is what it is and we can't move the needle when it comes to certain children and academic achievement, we say no. We embrace the science of reading and we commit ourselves to making New Haven a city that reads. When I think about innovation, the next value, I think about Next Haven and Climate Haven, 2 new incubators for emerging artists and climate tech entrepreneurs, respectively. When other places ignore, dismiss, or deny our changing climate and its impacts, we follow the science. We commit to doing our part to reduce our carbon emissions, and we engage resiliency efforts that will prepare us for our future. Partnership. When I think about partnership, I think about all of us in this room. Individuals who are different and don't always agree, but who are united in a common purpose and who are committed to working together to find common ground, to advance the common good. When our nation seems more divided than ever, we say it doesn't have to be that way. We can have differences and strongly disagree, but we can also be civil, and we can treat each other with humanity and with dignity and respect. Our values, inclusion, compassion, justice, courage, persistence, innovation, partnership, these will drive us forward and inform and animate the work we do as we build a city where every resident has the opportunity to thrive. So every New Year's morning, I have a tradition that I run to the top of East Rock Park and I look out on our city. And the view is just incredible. You can see, and if this wall weren't here, we could actually see East Rock Park behind us. You can see in the east the towers of Bella Vista. You can see the banks of Fair Haven. You can see Lighthouse Point and East Shore. You can see City Point jutting out into the harbor and into the Long Island Sound. You can see the Hill, Dwight, West River neighborhoods nestled between downtown and the West River. You can see the steeples of Dixwell and Newhallville churches and think about all the history inside those churches. You could see West Rock towering above Westville, West Hills, and the West Rock neighborhood. It's just incredible, our amazing city. And when I'm up there looking out on our city on New Year's Day, I do something that I'm going to ask you to do with me right now. 10 years from now, in 2034, New Haven will be celebrating its 250th anniversary as an incorporated city. 250 years. Such a milestone invites reflection and begs us to ask the question, what type of city do we want to live in a decade from now in 2034? What type of city do we want our children to live in, to inherit? Take a few seconds. What comes to mind? Where do we want to make our biggest investments? Where do we want to invest the most of our energy and focus? What do we want to be known for as a community, as a city? Let our values be our compass, and let the vision of what we can make New Haven be on its 250th birthday drive our work as we continue this journey together toward a city where everyone has an opportunity to thrive. Thank you.